Ladies and gentlemen, the sharing session for the impactful academic career through publication and networking is going to start in 5 minutes. Before the event starts, I would like to invite the guests to prepare as the sharing session will begin soon. Also, please note that all guests should be registered through Google form link given by organizer to get the certificate. Your cooperation is highly appreciated. Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning. So, first of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Muhammad Ashraf Muhammad Rizal as moderator for this event. A brief introduction about me. Currently, I'm working as senior lecturer at School of Mechanical Engineering and also serving as Associate Research Fellow at Center of Advanced Composite Materials, CACM, University Technology Malaysia, UTM. My research interests are natural fibers, composites, and concurrent engineering in product design. From this field, I have successfully published more than 100 articles, chapters, books, conference proceedings, and bulletin with Scopus H-Index of 23. On behalf of the main organizer, Center for Advanced Composite Materials, CACM UTM, and co-organizers, Malaysian Society of Muslim Scientists, Perintis, Malaysian Society of Sugar Palm Development and Industry, PPIEM, Young Scientist Network Malaysia, and Ikram Academia. I would like to extend my warm welcome to all guests to this program, which entitled Tips and Experience Sharing for Young Academics, Impactful Academic Career Through Publication and Networking. Moreover, I would like to welcome our distinct speaker, Prof. Dr. Azman bin Hassan, Adjunct Professor, School of Chemical and Energy Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, UTM. Last but not least, welcome to all esteemed academicians from UTM and other lecturers as well as students. Before we begin, I would like to invite Dr. Ahmad Ilyas Rushdan for Doa recitation. Please welcome Dr. Ilyas Rushdan.
Thank you, Dr. Ashraf. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Before we start the ceremony, let us pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so that the ceremony goes smoothly. Al-Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Ya Allah, Ya Rahim, praise be to God, the Lord of the world. Peace and blessing be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions, and for those who followed his example till the judgment day. Allahumma ya Allah, on this blessing morning, in conjunction with the impactful academic career through publication and networking, we be thankful and grateful towards you in favor of all infinite blessing to us, your humble servant, to live in safe and prosperous life. We seek your blessing for the flawless progress of this event from the beginning till the end. We seek your guidance to steer clear of event that will detrimental the progress of this event. Ya Latif, Ya Rahman, please bless us with tawfiq and hidayah. Please guide University Technology Malaysia to greatness, peace, glory, and prosperity in this world and hereafter. Make us a responsible intellectual, grant us with valuable knowledge that will be beneficial to mankind in order to itillah. Make us your righteous servants that followed your command to act. Please forgive us for our wrongdoing. Ya Munzil al-Barakat, bestow peace to our beloved country, Malaysia. Preserve us from and disaster, neither man-made nor natural disaster. And to you, we ask for security and prosperity upon us, our leader and our country. Bestow patience in us in order to face the challenges from you. Please accept our deeds and please reward us accordingly. Rabbana alayka tawakkalna wa ilayka anabna wa ilaykal masir. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzaban nar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa baraka wa salam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Amin amin ya rabbal alamin.
Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alamin. May our sharing session run smoothly and be blessed by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Ahmad Ilyas Rushdan as CACM representative for opening speech and remarks. Please welcome Dr. Ilyas for the speech.
Alright, boleh nampak?
Boleh, Dr.
Alright, okay. So thank you to the organizer, which is a Center of Advanced Composite Material and the Academic Science Malaysia, YSN. And then also to the Persatuan Saintis Muslim, Perintis, Ikram, and all the co-organizers. So thank you, Prof. Azman Hassan, for accepting our invitation to give a very interesting seminar, which is impactful academic career through publication and networking. So I would like to introduce a little bit about Center for Advanced Composite Materials. In short term, short name is the CACM. So in the UTM, so this one is for those who are outside UTM. Outside the UTM, UTM we have 3 campus, but the main campus is UTM, Skudai, Johor, UTM KL, and another one is in Pagoh. All right, CACM, so it established in January 1995 under the Faculty of the Mechanical Engineering, UTM. So being upgraded to the research center in 2012, multidisciplinary research ecosystem due to the diverse use of the composite material. So we cover a lot of composites such as structure, biomedical, and then polymer, biocomposite. All right, and then became the Center of Excellence, COE, in 2015 under the Office of the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation in 2015 to date. So the objective of the establishment of this center is to develop the future sustainable material for the growth of the industry, composite industry, as well as to promote the composite materials technology to the community through the teaching, training, and consultation work. All right, this is the research roadmap for the CACM. So we divide it into several fields such as the civil, biomedical, mechanical and manufacturing engineering, green technology, and the polymer engineering. Okay, these are some of our research fellow. Okay, so we have 4 research fellow and 6 associate research fellow, and 1 research officer. So last time, Prof. Azman is one of our research fellow. Okay. So this is an organization chart under the DVC, Research and Innovation. Okay, these are some of the facilities that CACM provide, such as the Instron drop weight impact tester, universal testing machine, then universal testing machine 0. We have a 10 kilonewton, 100 kilonewton, and 600 kilonewton, as well as we also provide the 4-axis filament winding machine, also as a ballistic machine. Okay. Okay, this is some of the COE, Center of Excellent Achievement, from the 2018 to 2021, in which we have, I think, again, a lot of publication and research networking. All right, this is a sub-niche, the advanced composite material. So we have, we divide it into 3 main sub-niche, which is the advanced polymer composite, natural fiber, metallic waste, and recycling polymer composite. Another one is an advanced metal matrix composite. So this is some of the research and service that we provide for the customer. Right? So this is our targeting, our KPI, national level, regional level, and global level. So we hope that we can collaborate any one of the participants here. So we can maybe collaborate individually or institute. Okay. So this is some of the research that has been done. We also delivered in terms of service, and then we also joined several conference, and then consultancy, right? Okay, this I think this is the second last slide. So we also organized one conference on composite science and technology, conference 2022. The date is 22 to 23 August 2022. So this is an international conference, and then this is the first conference by CACM. And then the potential, the selected paper, we will publish in the Scopus Index journal, which is Materials Today, Springer, lecture note in mechanical and editor book. So kindly, if you're interested to join this conference, kindly you can register, or you can go to this website, www.utm.my/comsat. So Prof. Azman is one of the keynote speaker, right? I think the first speaker, keynote speaker. All right. So this conference is co-organized by several universities such as Newcastle, University Putra Malaysia, University Sains Malaysia, UCSI, University Technology Malaysia, Polytechnic di Bari, Italy, Kim Mongkut University, BRIN Indonesia, University Padjadjaran, Republic Technical University, Republic Chess, UMP, University Malaysia Pahang, Oklahoma State University, United States, UMT, University Malaysia Terengganu, University Andalas, UTHM, University Tun Hussein On, and UTM, University Technology, University Technical Melaka, Malaysia, and then Textile University, Pakistan, and also as a University Malaysia Kelantan. So our co-organizer is basically they are, we can call it expert in the composite. So this international conference is all about the composite, whether it's a polymer, matrix, composite. So thank you. So that's all from the introduction by CACM. So go back to Dr. Ashraf.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Ilyas, for the welcoming remarks and this sharing about the background of CACM. So right now we will continue on our event. Before we start our session, I would like to give a brief background for our speaker today. Professor Dr. Azman bin Hassan joined UTM in 1984 and retired in 2021 after serving UTM for 37 years. He is currently an adjunct professor at School of Chemical and Energy Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, UTM. He received his bachelor degree in polymer technology in 1984 from University of Wales Institute of Science and Technology, UWIST. In 1987, he received his master degree in a process design at University of Strathclyde, Glasgow, Scotland. He obtained his PhD in 1997 from University of Loughborough in field of polymer technology. In terms of working experience, he was the head of polymer engineering department for 6 years from 2002 to 2008. He also served as deputy director of research and publications at Research Management Center RMC UTM from 2008 to 2011. He was the director for Research Publication Center from 2012 to 2014. From 2015 to 2017, he worked as Deputy Dean for Research and Innovation at Faculty of Chemical and Energy Engineering. He was a UTM Senate member from 2011 to 2021. His research interests includes polymer blends, thermal characterizations, toughened polymers, natural fiber composites, graphene, nanocomposites, and flame retardant polymers. At postgraduate level, he has supervised more than 30 PhD and 40 master students. He has published over 300 papers in journals and conferences proceeding and book chapters with a Scopus H-index of 45. He is currently the editor-in-chief of Perintis e-Journal and a member of editorial board for Fiber and Polymers and Journal of Elastomers and Plastics. He was the recipient of Top Research Scientist Malaysia TRSM in 2016 by Academy of Sciences Malaysia ASM and has been elected as one of the fellows of the ASM in 2021. He was also listed in World Top 2% Scientists in 2019 and 20. All right, before I hand over the session to Prof. Dr. Azman, I would like to share some housekeeping notes. First, if you are interested to receive an e-certificate for your attendance in today's webinar, please fill in the Google form that will be shared in the chat box from time to time. All guests are kindly requested to turn off your microphone throughout the event to avoid disruptions to the delivery of the speaker. We will have a question and answer session Q&A at the end of this event. There are two ways you can pose your question. Either you can turn on your microphone and ask question directly to speaker, or you can type your question in the chat box and I will assist you in reading out to the speaker. Without further ado, I welcome Prof. Dr. Azman to give the 1-hour talk for this event. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Prof. Dr. Azman bin Hassan.
Prof, unmute, Prof, please.
Prof kena unmute, Prof.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Boleh dengar ya?
Boleh.
Okay. Sorry for the technical. Waalaikumsalam. Okay. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Firstly, let us praise Allah Subhanahu wa taala for giving us the opportunity to be in this program this morning, and our salawat and salam to our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And once again, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to everyone. Okay. Welcome to this talk and sharing session on the we will discuss on publications and networking, and how publication and networking can bring about an impactful career to the academicians. Firstly, I would like to give my thanks to the Director of Center of Advanced Composite Material, Dr. Shukur, Associate Professor Dr. Shukur, and also my thanks to all members of CACM for organizing this program, which I hope will benefit the young lecturers. And also I would like to thank to the other co-organizer, which are the Persatuan and Industri Enau Malaysia, ASM Young Scientist Network, Ikram Academia, and also to Printis. And thank you to Muhammad Ashraf for the kind introduction. And also I would like to thank Associate Professor Dr. Rashdan and also to Dr. Ilyas for being the main players in organizing this program this morning. And Alhamdulillah, this morning I received a WhatsApp message from Dr. Rashdan telling that there are more than 400 people who have registered to this program. So I was very happy, and I hope that we will have a very lively discussion so that we will benefit as much as possible from the program this morning. I'm sure that the screen is not moving. Sure what happened. Okay, it's moving now. Okay. All right. The title of the presentation today is the Impactful Academic Career Through Publication and Networking, Tips and Experience Sharing for Young Academics. Okay, a little bit about myself and my family. I have 3 sons, and I am married to Dr. Zanuha Zakaria, who has also retired from UTM last year together with me. She is sitting beside me in the picture on the right, wearing the red tudung. Okay. I have 3 daughters-in-law and have 10 grandchildren. 10 grandchildren, and the eldest is Aisha. Now she has just entered Sekolah Sri Putri as in Form 1. Okay. And this picture on the right bottom is my picture with my PhD students and my master student 10 years ago. It's a long time, and many of them has already graduated and become professors and associate professors in their countries. So I hope that the program today is not a lecture as such, but more of experience sharing, not only from my experience as a lecturer for 37 years, but also from the experience of other people whom I have taught, whom I have discussed, and whom I have read their experience in the internet. Okay, so I hope that we will be able to learn from their experience as well. Okay, so what do we hope to achieve from today's event? What do you like to achieve from today's event? I have listed 3 of them. The first one, I hope that the audience will be inspired to develop an impactful career through publication and networking. So after this, we will try to define what is meant by impactful career. And secondly, I hope that the participants or the audience can develop strategies to increase quality and quantity of journal papers publication. Because in order to be impactful, we need to produce quality and quantity enough numbers of journal papers. And thirdly, I hope that we can discuss about the strategies to improve networking and collaborations in research. This is my presentation outline. I will divide my talk or my sharing this morning into 5 sections. Number 1 is introduction, where I will define what is meant by impactful career, and I will discuss 8 challenges faced by young academicians. Number 2, I will discuss about how publications and networking produce impactful career. Number 3, strategies to increase quality and quantity of journal papers publication. Number 4, strategies to improve networking and collaborations in research. And finally, I will end with some conclusions. Okay. Now we will go into the first section, which is the introduction. We'll talk about the definition of impactful career and what are the challenges faced by young academicians. What is the definition of impactful? Okay. From the many definitions which I have checked, I have read, and I tried to summarize. And in short, I can define impactful means successful in making a positive difference. Successful in making a positive difference. So we want to make a difference to other people's life. That means if you are successful, then we have made an impact. But how much is the success? Okay, even it is not that significant, it can also be considered impactful. We try as much as possible to bring a positive difference to people's life. It can be very significant, it can be less significant. So, impactful academic career, okay, ourselves as academician, is when your academic output, okay, we'll discuss what is academic output after this, has a positive effect on the academician, meaning that it will affect the academician themselves. How much improvement, how much difference would the academic output will bring to the academician, to the students, and to society. So there are 3 categories of how the positive impact would have: the academician, students, and society. And it is very important for us to agree, to know that there are many ways, not only through publication and networking, there are many ways that we can have impactful academic career besides publication and networking. But the focus of our talk today, our presentation today, is on publication and networking. but there are many other ways. For example, we can do some program with the student to organize some cultural program or sports program that will benefit the student, that will improve the life of the student, the welfare of the student. So that is also impactful. So publication and networking are not the only ways that we can bring about an impactful academic career. But focus for today's talk will be on publication and networking. A very famous Muslim scientist who have made a very great impact to society, but probably many of us do not know. He is Al-Jazari. He lived more than 1,000 years ago. He is a scholar, inventor, mechanical engineering. He is the father of robotics, father of robotics, and he is artisan, artist, and mathematician. And he has invented many important inventions, and also he has written a book. He is best known for writing the book of knowledge of ingenious mechanical devices. So this is an example of a person who has very impactful career in his life. Okay. Probably we will not reach that stage, but at least we should aspire and we should try in our young days. We plan so that we can have an impactful academic career in our life. What are, okay, so in this section, as I have mentioned, I will be also talking about the challenges faced by the young academician. So I have listed here 8 challenges faced by the young academician. Okay, the first one is on the publish and perish culture, multitasking responsibilities of a lecturer, industry versus academic, journal papers not being cited, need for other forms of publication, current publishing system, lecturers are burnt out, evaluation system for promotion. So we'll try to see briefly what are the challenges, and I look forward to hear your comment later. Number one is this challenge, the publish or perish culture. I think all of you have are familiar with this, or about this culture, publish and perish culture. The ultimatum to this is well known to academics. It is that you publish original research or risk damaging your reputation. Okay, especially if you are already professors and you are not publishing, then you may risk your there is risk of damaging your reputation because you have not given the output which is expected from a professor. Okay, itulah some people say that the term Professor Kangkung and so on. Also to the young lecturers, this culture is also something that can be very stressful, especially for those who have not yet confirmed, belum disahkan jawatan, not confirmed, or you are applying for associate professor or professor. So the publication will be part of the KPI. And this term phrase publish or perish is popularized in 1942 by a sociologist named Logan Wilson. And this, as I said, publish or perish culture can lead to a stressful lifestyle if you cannot comply to the given KPI. For example, in certain universities, not only they expect the young lecturers to publish papers, but they expect you to publish in Q1 or Q2 with being the main author, the corresponding author, or the first author. Okay, let us see what this behind the this culture. Reason, let's see what are the reasons for journal publication. We must be clear, okay, as a lecturer, as academician, why we publish papers in the journals. Number one is to share knowledge with the science community. So we have done the research, or our students have done the research, and we think it is interesting. We want to share the knowledge with the science community, not only in Malaysia. We want to share the knowledge, the data that we have obtained from researchers in Romania, in Bulgaria, in Canada, in Rwanda. And the way that we can do that is by publishing in the journals, to share knowledge with the science community. If we do not share, then there will be a waste in resources, meaning that the same person, maybe we have done some research on, okay, let's say on graphene, on the use of graphene, or the use of synthetic wollastonite. My students are doing now. If we do not publish, then maybe the same experiment will be done by somebody in South Africa, and it will be a waste of resources. That means there is a repeating in terms of money, waste of money and time. What should happen is that the scientists in South Africa should then continue what we have done in Malaysia based on the paper that we have published. Okay. Number two, to increase our profile as a researcher and academician. People will know us, our status, based on the papers that we publish. For example, I have known that Dr. Ilyas, he has a H index of 42, right? And Dr. Ashraf has H index of 24. So that will be very important in profiling. People will know how much research we have done based on the papers that we have published. And then to enhance our knowledge and writing skills. To enhance our knowledge and writing skills, meaning that as we write the papers, our knowledge of that particular subject will increase. And also our writing skills will be improved. How do we increase our knowledge? Firstly, in order to write the papers, we have to read many other papers. And also, when we improve the paper, during revising the paper, there are so many comments from the reviewers. I have my own experience. I have used to have 4 or 5 reviewers, which one reviewer have 20 comments. So I have to address between 80 to 100 comments in order for the paper to get published. And you will appreciate how much increase of knowledge that we can gain after we have published the paper. Number 4, to increase credibility of our research, leading to future funding. So one is about our profile as a researcher, but also to our research, That means if we have FRGS grant, we have FRGS grant of 100,000, we finish, and from that particular research, we have fulfilled the KPI of the given by Ministry of Education. So we will get all the papers that is expected we have published. And then when we apply for LRGS later on, or another FRGS, then we will have very good chance of getting that research grant. Okay, I know this because I am one of the panel during the LRGS 1 or 2 years ago, and we did check the performance of previous FRGS or even LRGS, whether the research team has fulfilled the KPI. So it is very important. Your FRGS can be an asset or can be a liability if you do not fulfill the KPI. And also to assist in students' PhD and future career. I will talk later on a lot about this. And it is very true that if we publish the papers, then it will help the student during the viva, and also during when the examiner reads the thesis, they will have a high regard on the thesis if the examiners have seen that papers have been published from the PhD work. Okay, so this is a paper which I have referred, published in a journal titled Research Publication Need for Academicians. So what this author have written, I have summarized. Publications make scientific information publicly available. That's what I have already said, and allow the rest of academic audience, meaning that everywhere in the world, to evaluate the quality of research. Okay. So not only people in Malaysia, but the academic audience throughout the world. Okay. I have also been told that there are some people, academicians from Nigeria, who have also registered to attend this talk. I hope they will be here. That means this sharing is not only benefiting the researchers or the academicians in Malaysia, but also academicians from Nigeria, from, I hope, from Pakistan, from Qatar, and India. Okay. It is through publication that the research, including its scientific and practical contribution, is disseminated to others. Okay, that's very, very true, and I agree with this. This makes scientific researchers with similar interests, so other people who are working in the same area, well aware of the new knowledge that we have found in our lab, and now they will be very interested to advance the knowledge, that they have gained. Okay, that means in order for a research or paper to be published in a good journal, the research must be at the frontier knowledge. So now, when people continue our research, then it has pushed the boundary of the front to a new frontier. Not only must academics publish research to remain relevant. So if we do not publish our research, then we may be irrelevant to the scientific community. But not only that, it is also a very important requirement in the KPI or key performance indicator at many universities. Okay. When I joined UTM in 1984, and I finished my PhD in 2007, the word key performance indicator is not very familiar. But once UTM has become or about to become research university back in 2009, in the year 2010, then this KPI is becoming more important. Everybody talks about KPI, talks about the impact factor, and so on. So I was 10 years ago in charge of the publications in UTM, and we were very worried that at that time UTM is not one of the research universities. The reason because we do not reach the required impact factor, cumulative impact factor. So there are certain number that we have to reach in order for us to be a research university. So at that time, everybody is worried, and everybody was talking about impact factor and so on. I remember during one occasion, I attend one walima or marriage kenduri. When I reached the particular house, the person who is also a lecturer in UTM, the first thing when he saw me was he talked about how is UTM's publication now. So everybody is talking about, worried about UTM not having required cumulative impact factor to become one of the research universities. But Alhamdulillah, we managed to get the numbers, and now we are one of the 5 research universities in Malaysia. Pressure to publish can be very hard. Pressure to publish can be very high. This is because getting published is becoming more difficult. Getting published is more difficult, and one of the reasons why the publication is getting more difficult, especially to get into Q1 or Q2, because the number of academics throughout the world is increasing. In my field, in polymer, there are so many papers coming from China. There are so many papers from China, and they publish a lot of papers, and it is very competitive. Very competitive, and we must know the techniques of how we can get into publishing in good journals. Okay, from Professor Tom Brooks from Durham University, he wrote in his blogs, 2 reasons journal articles are highly important for academic careers. Number 1 is journal article as seal approval. Okay, as I mentioned, to the wider community, the paper has a particular importance as judged by the journal. Okay, what it means here is that once our papers is published in a certain journal, that means that particular journal, the editor of the journal and the reviewers of the journal have accepted that our paper has reached a certain standard. So this shows that our journal has been approved, has a seal of approval by a certain journal. That's what it meant. Number 2, journal article as an academic job qualification. Okay, what he mentioned here is quite interesting. He said that get our papers published are important, especially for the students. For the students, also important for us as lecturers in our career. But for the students who are going to get jobs, either as research officers or postdoctoral or lecturers in universities or in the industries, some students they are from good universities. Okay, for example, in United States they have so many rank of universities. Some are the top universities, some are lesser. The similar also in Malaysia. Probably we have the 5 research universities, and we have the other universities which are not considered to be research universities. For those who are the less in terms of ranking, we have also the world ranking. So when they ask for job, they went to interview, and the potential employer would see the CV, or you are from this particular university, compared to the other person who are from the top 100 universities. So maybe you have less chance. But if you can convince, although you are from lower ranking university, but you can prove to the person the interviewer, that you are also as good as the other person based on the track record of your journal papers. Maybe you have better papers, although you are from lower ranking university. So this publication is very useful. Okay, as you can see in my slide, may be useful to those coming from more modest academic training grounds. So this is what it meant, but by Professor Tom Brooks, that a publication is an opportunity to prove yourself. Okay. Prof. Gustav Olsen, the editor-in-chief of Water Science and Technology, he is a good friend of Datuk Sri Zaini, our former VC. So he was here many times in UTM. He said that if your research is not published in a journal, it does not exist. It must be possible to find it. So if you have done research, you have a finding, important finding, and you claim that you have already achieved something, the way to prove it is that you must publish. If it is not possible to find it, then actually you have not done the research. So this is what Prof. Gustav Olsen said. Number two, challenge number two is the multitasking responsibilities of a lecturer. So I like to quote here, tugas bagi pensyarah bukan sekadar mengajar. So in UTM, we are quite familiar with the 7 P's. In Malay, it's 7 P's, but in English, it's not 7 P. It's publication, administration, research, teaching, consultation, community services, and supervision. And of all these three, the 3 pillars, the most important things of academia is teaching, research, and service. So the other one are also important, maybe part of your KPI, but the most important 3 are teaching, research, and service. That is translating knowledge to the community. So those are the 3 pillars of academia. Okay. A quotation here from Dr. Stephen Thompson, Australian National University, which I quote from, he wrote this in Quora Digest. Quora Digest, if you are familiar, I am a great fan of Quora Digest. Every morning I will receive email from Quora and read some of the tips. And my favorite tips is about diabetic, how to not to have diabetic. So I receive tips every day from Quora. Okay, this is about PhD tips. He said that there is a question. There is a question in that person asked, PhD is no doubt the most challenging degree I've ever done. Thus, the pressure is after PhD, supposing that you get into an academic career. Okay. If any of you wants to give your opinion, you can write in the comment column, maybe your own experience. But this Dr. Stephen Thompson, this is what he said. I would say definitely not, meaning that the pressure does not decrease after PhD. Your PhD is a challenge, he said, but it's a quiet challenge. Nobody bothers you. As a full-time faculty member, suddenly everyone wants a piece of you. So if you are a faculty member, that means you are a lecturer now, your dean, your students, your PhD survivor, no, your PhD, your management committee, the library, the media, journals with peer review requests. Okay. Annual appraisal and reporting requirement, all will ask for your time. And even this peer reviewing request from the journal can also become a part of stress to your life. 5 years ago, I think around that time, I was very active in peer review. I review around 100 papers per year, 100 papers per year. And sometimes when it has already reached the deadline, then the journal will send a requirement, will send a reminder, So then if you are quite busy with other job, then it is quite a stress on your part. But one thing I don't like is that when the journal do not send a reminder, but the editors will only send an email after the deadline has passed, saying that your review is not needed anymore. I feel quite sad, especially if I have already read a part of the paper. Okay, continuing. That's not to say that there are no benefits or rewards in an academic career. There can be plenty. So please do not regret for those who are new to become new lecturers. There's a very interesting academic career ahead. But I'm afraid to say that never again will you be left to your own devices, like when you were during your PhD. Meaning to say that there are so many tasks to be done if you are a lecturer, compared to when you are a PhD student. You only focus on your PhD and you have meeting only with your supervisors. There is an article from Utusan Malaysia published in 2021 by Professor Madya Dr. Harun Nisa. I'm not sure whether Dr. Harun Nisa is one of the participants this morning. If you are, then you can give your comment. She wrote an article, bukan senang jadi pensyarah. So the article is in Malay. In Malay, she said that it is, as a lecturer, we have to fulfill our KPI. If we fail, then it will bring an impact on our salary and our promotion, and also our job confirmation. Okay. So in order to fulfill the KPI, the lecturers need to work hard and to publish in journals in high impact journals. So these are some of the challenges faced by the lecturer. Okay. And there is another article also not in Malaysia. I think this is in Sinar Harian, written by Dr. Johari Yap from USM, also talking about the same thing, but how difficult it is to get published in Q1 and Q2 in his field. Boleh tolong mute. Okay. So besides getting published, the lecturers also face the task of getting the research grant, which is very difficult. I agree that getting the research grant, even FRGS, is quite difficult nowadays. The passing rate is only 10%, and it is quite difficult, especially for professors. Maybe the younger lecturers would have better chance, but the professor, maybe they expect to get the grant from to get international grant or the LRGS. So getting FRGS is a great challenge now with passing rate of around 10%. So this challenge of teaching versus research. Some lecturers feel that teaching is not valued by universities and no more a priority for lecturers. But actually, in my opinion, lecturers should try to excel in both. And the other issue is lecturers are becoming more individualistic and reluctant to participate in faculty's activities. Actually, we must strategize on our KPI marks, but KPI is not everything. We should volunteer, we should do some work with the society, which may be not exactly part of the KPI, but it's very fun and benefit for us to have a wholesome personality. So there is actually no contradiction in these two things. Okay. The other things is the challenge industry and academia, as mentioned by Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a multi-millionaire, and he is working to make vehicles without drivers. What called automation of cars. He said that most academic papers are pretty useless. Most academic papers are pretty useless. He mentioned this in an interview with Sal Khan. Sal Khan is famous for his open education system. Elon Musk said this, his opinion on academic publication. So and he also stressed that the core purpose of research isn't to generate citation. It's not merely to have citation and H index, but to increase knowledge and forge meaningful connection both within and outside academia. That means within the academicians and also outside the academic world, there is the industry. Another academician, Dr. Duncan Omaga from MOI University in Africa. He said that it's not the job of academics to build products. Our task is to split the atom, not to make the bomb. Academia should not be confused with industry. So he has different opinion compared to Elon Musk. Our calling is to give option, not offer solution. For instance, in the current coronavirus pandemic, the researchers give the options in industry, and the industry develops the drug. Challenge number 4, journal papers not cited. Dr. Lokman Meho from Indiana University in Bloomington, United States, he wrote that some 90% of papers that have been published in academic journals are never cited. And based on his study, 50% of papers are never read by anyone other than their authors, referees, and journal editors. Another two scientists, Professor Asit Biswas and Julian Kircher, he said that up to 1.5 million peer-reviewed articles are published annually, and 82% in the field of humanities are not even cited once. And in the natural sciences, 27% are not being cited. And on average, a journal article is not read by not more than 10 people. Hence, they conclude that impacts of most peer-reviewed publications, even with the scientific community, are minuscule. Okay, very, very small. Huh? Okay, this goes to the challenge number 5. Now it is expected that academicians to contribute to, besides to journal papers, also contribute to non-scholar publication. And they suggest that the professors to write article in the newspapers and also in the magazine, because they think that more people will read this publication. Challenge number 6 is the journal publication culture, and this has been discussed in few WhatsApp group, saying that reviewers are not paid. And this is what I get from the my friends who wrote in the WhatsApp. Reviewers are not paid. Paper authors are not paid and have to surrender their copyrights. The authors cannot share their paper until a certain period. Yet, the publishers such as Elsevier, Taylor and Francis, Wiley, Sage, Springer, they make millions, if not billions of dollars annually. Is it fair? Okay. So you can give your opinion in the comment section if you have opinions on how to overcome this publication culture, which is not fair. And to one of the suggestions to overcome that, the problem was to have open access publishing. Open access publishing is where the universities do not have to subscribe to the journal. It can be obtained freely. Okay, but who is going to pay for all the process? So open access publishing is an important recent development. It's a quite recent development, and many journals are now become open access journal. It solves the access problem, meaning that it is easy for the researchers from the less developed country to access the article, but it causes more problem to many of us because the cost of publishing has increased. It is like if you want to publish in MPDI journals publisher, it will cost between 5,000 to 10,000 ringgit. It's very expensive. Okay, so open access publishing is not actually the solution to the problem yet. Challenge number 7. Lecturers are burnt out. Although universities need lecturers who are vibrant and very active, but many are burnt out due to increasing expectation, tight university budgets, less academic freedom, and so on. So this will result in lecturers burnt out and not ready to work as active as before. However, from my literature search, and I found a paper published by a group of Malaysian lecturers from University Selangor, on work-life balance of Malaysian lecturers. And the findings is quite positive. They say that in Malaysia, the findings suggest that most Malaysian lecturers are family men, caring and really concerned of their health to have a satisfied and well-balanced working life. So in Malaysia, it is not really a big problem yet. Many are very balanced. The lecturers are satisfied with their family life and have gotten the important things that they want in their family life. Okay, I think this is the last one. The evaluation system for promotion. Many lecturers are not satisfied with the promotion procedure. One of the complaints is that is the moving goalpost. There is changing the rules while someone is trying to do something in order to make it more difficult for them. So now some universities, they are making the criteria for promotion for professors, for associate professors more difficult, more difficult. The young lecturers complain that these old professors, when they were young, the requirement for associate professors and professors are easy, but now they are making the young lecturers making more difficult for the young lecturers. Okay, so this is one of the comment I received in my WhatsApp in Malay. Saya fikir kerisauan tentang kaedah penilaian untuk kenaikan pangkat akademik masih belum nampak jalan keluar. So there is no solution yet. Ia kerisauan yang ada asas. It has some basis. Namun sementara sistem yang ada ini belum sempurna, cubalah manfaat apa yang telah sedia ada. So my advice is that we should not spend a lot of our time complaining, but we should do something. If you read the book by Stephen Covey, there are circle of influence and circle of something that you can do something. Circle of what? Circle of influence. Forgot.
Of concern, bro.
Circle of concern. Okay. Circle of influence and circle of concern. So we should spend more of our time in circle of influence. Circle of influence. So rather than we are concerned about the unfair system, we should do within our capability to fulfill the requirements set by the university. All right. Okay. So I would like to end this section with a story about the man, the boy, and the donkey. Probably you have heard this story about a father, his son riding donkey. Firstly, the boy was riding the donkey, and people comment, "You are not a good son. You let your father walk." And then when the father on the donkey, people complain that you are not a good father. And then when they were both on the donkey, they say that you are not good people. You are making the donkey working very hard. So at last, they just walk, and both of them were not riding the donkey. And people say that you are stupid. You have a donkey, but do not use it. So they got confused. You got confused. So the moral of the story is that if you want to please all, you will not please no more. If you want to please the industry people, you want to please saying that publication is not important, but when you do not publish, you will not get promoted, then you will get stressed. So you must be very focused and know why you publish and do the right thing. So I will end this session with also another quotation from Dr. Rashid. I think this is from Dr. Rashidan. He said that publication bukan segala-galanya, tetapi segala-galanya bermula dengan publication. In English, it is publication is not everything, but everything starts with publication. So let us be clear to ourselves that publication enable the authors to gain recognition and acknowledgement as expert, and also it will give internal recognition to us and also to the university. Okay. Now we go to the second section, how publication and networking produce an impactful career. Okay. Publication and networking can produce impactful career by making positive difference on these three aspects. The academician, who are ourselves, that means that the positive difference occurs on the academician themselves, on the life of the student, and the well-being of the society. Okay. How can publication and networking produce positive difference on academician? Okay, briefly, it will bring more research grant. We can be invited as keynote speaker, editor, examiner, reviewers, increase citation and each index, more opportunity for research collaboration. It will attract postgraduate and undergraduate students. Okay, so if we publish, and this will increase our profile, and we will attract very good postgraduate student. Sometimes we may get postgraduate students who are on scholarship from other countries. They will be interested to do PhD with us based on our track record of publication. So we must prove that we have good track record of publication, and we can attract good postgraduate students in terms of quality or quantity. Many we get more, and also we can attract good undergraduate students, because undergraduate students can also be source of publication, of writing of journal papers. I have published few Q2 papers, I think Q2 papers from the final year project, and it will improve our career. It's very important in career advancement, this publication and networking. I don't have to stress anymore. And also recognition, recognition in terms, for example, being a top research scientist in Malaysia, or we are elected in the as fellows of Academic Science Malaysia, or we are listed in the top 2% scientists. So these are examples of recognition that we can gain through our record of publications and networking. Now we talked about just now about the citation and each index. So briefly, I would like to tell about some strategies to increase citation and each index. Probably this is another talk on its own, but I can share with you. I hope that everyone will use this professional social network such as ResearchGate. I think ResearchGate is very good for networking, and to get to know more people, and for other people to know our papers. So you must learn the technique of using ResearchGate. How you want to make more friends from other researchers in other countries. Publish in top and relevant journal. Do research in current interesting area, interesting title and relevant keywords. Self-citation, but not excessive. So if you are working on the same area, it is good to cite our own papers, but not excessive. It must be natural. Presenting papers in conference, personal contact, send the PDF of our published papers, write review papers, and include your own publication, and you will more papers published, then there is higher chances of increased citation and each index. And this is just to share, I have checked my latest Google Scholar. The Google Scholar, its index is 52, 52, and the highest citation was in last year, 2021, where I received nearly 1,800 citation. Okay. Now I'm talking about how publication and networking can produce positive difference on the students, okay, on the life of students. The publication can help the students during Viva, as I said just now, and the examiners will have a higher regard on the thesis when they see that the students have published papers in good journals. Chances of getting scholarship, from my own experience, and I think in 2017, two of my students, I think they are participants in this talk, Wong and Chan. So I suggest to them to write papers based on their undergraduate project. They were not doing undergraduate project with me, but I suggest to them that you should publish at least in any journal, even in non-index journal, so that you will have advantage compared to other students when apply for the scholarship during PhD. I think in a way it works. I'm not sure exactly, but it shows some good results, because Chan, one of my PhD students, she received a very prestigious scholarship known as Tan Sri Ainuddin Wahid. Probably that paper makes her give her extra marks during the interview. Citation and each index, okay. Awards to secure jobs and career advancement. Okay, I'm very happy to share that many of my PhD students have a very good career now, and few of them are already professors. Few of them are already professors, and I think at least three professors. And one of my students, he messaged me that he has just gone for the interview to become the vice chancellor of his university. So this record of publication really helped, because it will produce a good CV for them, to secure jobs and for their future career advancement. Okay. Sharing a picture. This picture with Associate Professor Dr. Hafiz Kasim. He is 39 years old. He was promoted to Associate Professor 2 years ago, and he was the recipient of Anugerah Chancellor, the most prestigious award, in 2016. He published many papers, and I think he was promoted quite early at the age of 37 to Associate Professor. So well done. And this is my picture recently with Dr. Yi Junwei. He has also a very good career prospect. He is now a technical director for Asia. He's working with Balocher, a multinational company, and he's doing very well. And he is, I can say, one of the experts for PVC additive in the world. Sorry, the slide's not moving. All right. So this slide is also success from my student, Dr. Khalid Majid, on the left. He just promoted 2 weeks ago to Associate Professor, and his paper is the most cited among all my papers. And we received award in the UTM Quality Day, Majlis Citra Karisma, for the best paper, the highest cited paper. So this is good collaboration between Dr. Khalid Majid, who is my PhD student, a research professor from UPM, Dr. Jawaid, Dr. Aznizam, Professor Khalil from USM, Dr. Arshad Salima from Monash University, and this is Dr. Ibrahim Inua, the one I said that who has just gone for the interview to become the Vice Chancellor of his university. And now, how publication and networking can produce positive difference on society. So our papers should influence, should bring some impact on the well-being of society in terms of the government policy, economic, environmental, health and safety. So for example, when government is making policy on road, on traffic. So our research should be referred. We do some research that will influence the government policy on traffic. And also research, this is the research being done, which will influence the health authorities on how to solve the problem of COVID. So this is another research which the academics contribute in solving the problem of the society. So in this book, edited by Dr. Wade Kelly, the authors here mentioned that researchers are being asked to plan for and demonstrate the impact that their research has on culture, society, health, and the economy. Higher education is changing, moving away from rewarding academics primarily for peer-reviewed academic publication, but now the society are asking academics to report on how their work actually contributes to society more broadly. So the academician, the young academicians now should see this point. Besides getting the academic content of the research, but need to really contribute to the society in terms of these four aspects. Dr. Elijah Dickens, Musha Miza, he wrote that the other important core function of a university is where the academic staff is expected to make contribution to community outreach. So that's why now in Malaysia, there is this jaringan community where we are expected to do research where we will help the community directly. So this is a very good program. And this is also how we can bring impact to the society. Okay. Now, the third section, now we are going to talk about strategies to increase quality and quantity of journal papers publication. Okay. So to be impactful, academicians need to publish quality papers and a good quantity of papers. So we need to publish. So for academicians, when they talk about quality papers, normally they are papers which are published in the Q1 and Q2, the higher quartile, the first two quartile. Okay. I would like to give the definition of what is meant by research output. Research output. So research output can be categorized into publication, graduated student, citation and each index, networking, conference presentation, commercialization, innovation, training programs, community service, and intellectual properties. So what the research output which are quite related to publication is the one that I have written in red color. Okay. Types of publication. We can divide types of publication into two: scholarly publications and non-scholarly publications. But scholarly publications are mainly journal papers. Journal papers are considered to be top scholarly publications. Then it is proceeding, book chapters, book. You should know the difference between book chapters and book. Book are normally the authored books. Authored books are the whole book are written by the same person. Whereas book chapters are, we have the chapter. Each chapter may be written by different people, but it will have an editor or two editors. Okay, so that is called book chapters. Technical report, monograph, thesis. So scholarly publications are normally written in academic style, in more formal style, and normally it will have a reviewer. And non-scholarly publications are newspapers, magazines, and trade journals. Trade journals, just journals that try to promote certain product. Strategies to increase quality and quantity of publication. Number one is we need to be effective supervisor. We need to develop effective supervision skill because most of our papers will be from our students. If you are good in supervise and we get good students, then we can publish better papers. Improve the writing techniques. Keep on improving. Sharpen the saw. Attend course on improving writing techniques and read, watch the videos on YouTube and so on. Be an effective researcher. Okay, be an effective researcher means that we will have good research grant. We have research grant and we know how to manage the research grant. Not only we receive the grant, but we do not know how to manage. That means we are not an effective researcher. So effective researcher means you know how to apply the grant, you know how to manage the grant, and you know how to fulfill the KPI of the research grant. Write review papers. Writing review papers is also a good way of getting quality papers. You become a reviewer yourself. I will discuss a little bit how becoming a reviewer will improve our publication and having networking and collaboration. Dr. Ashraf, are we too long? Do we need a rest or not?
Already 11:30, Prof.
Do we need a rest or no need a rest?
Just continue. Inshallah, I think just continue
Okay.
and we finish.
Okay. All right. Key elements in developing effective supervision skill. There are 6 which I have listed, but the one in red is very much related to writing. So the lecturers must not be lazy. You must not fail in this task to provide feedback of the students' manuscript and thesis. Students would be very frustrated if the lecturers or the supervisors are not interested to provide feedback. Either take so long or no constructive comment. Okay, so if you want to publish good papers, you must work with your student in writing the papers. You must provide good feedback to the students' manuscript and thesis. Some classification of supervisors. There are listed here 10 types of supervisor. Some supervisor, they are not around anymore. And also some are happy to be mediocre. So if the category supervisor of happy to be mediocre is the supervisor of a student who are very ambitious, then there will be maybe a mismatch in terms of personality. Yeah? Okay, so if the supervisor is medical and the student is medical, then it may be compatible. So it may be compatible. So if the supervisor is very ambitious, but the student is not so ambitious and happy to be medical, then also a mismatch. So the supervisor must know, at least you reflect upon yourself and see which category are you in. So we are not perfect. Supervisors are human too. We have a lot of weakness we must accept, but we should try to improve and work together with our student. Qualities of a good supervisor. Okay, qualities of good supervisor. Track record of supervising PhD student through completion. Strong publication record. Active in their research field. How do we know that that particular lecturer is active in the research field? If you want to collaborate, you want to know whether that particular professor is still active or not. Okay, one way that I can help you, if you go into the Google Scholar, you look at the Google Scholar profile. You don't only look at the number of papers, we look at the 5 years. There is the 5 years record. Okay. If maybe the professor published 500 papers, but in the last five years record, he only published 3 papers. That means he is no more active. Maybe he is retired, or he has already died, or he has some other problem. So you need to check both. So these are some qualities which takes a lot of time to discuss. So what I'm going to say here, conclude, is that good publication record will attract more and better postgraduate students. Successful postgraduate supervision, close monitoring. So close monitoring. Sometimes you need to have regular meeting. Now we can do it online, or we can do it in physical mode. Sometimes we can celebrate our success. If we publish in good papers, we can eat at good restaurant. So here, me and my students, I think this is at Impiana Hotel. I'm not sure what we celebrate. Yeah, but everybody is happy. It seems that we must cherish our graduate student as asset and treat them as colleagues. So our students should be treated as colleagues and no more as undergraduate student. And we must give topic that will push the frontier of knowledge, and also within our realm of expertise. And we must explain to our students that the success of the graduation depends on the quality of their research output, which include publication record. So this is some of my current students. I have already retired, but I have still supervised. Some of the students I have passed to other people because I cannot become the main supervisor anymore. And at least Dr. Abdul Rahim has already finished his Viva, and Chan has already submitted. So, okay. This is my past student. I think more than 30 PhD students, and I'm not sure how many master students. And they are from various countries, mainly Malaysia, Nigeria, from Pakistan, from Iraq, from India, from Iran. Last time we used to have many students from India, from Iran. Okay, and I enjoy very much working with them, and I hope to continue the relationship. Sorry, the slides are not moving. Okay. And where are they now? They are working in various universities. And many of them are doing very well. I think the Dr. Ibrahim, who has just gone interview for the post Vice Chancellor, is from Kaduna State University in Nigeria. And also many also are from the industry. Dr. Reza, working as a research officer in Loughborough University. Okay, so in order to publish good papers, we must know how the techniques of writing good papers. It is also another talk on its own, but I can say that the most important thing is that it must present new knowledge, novelty, and original. If other weaknesses, we can improve. If the rejection is due to not following the guidelines to authors, or not writing interesting title, then it can be improved. But if the research has no novelty, then it is very difficult to improve anymore, especially if the student has already graduated and the knowledge is not novel and there is not enough new data to be shared in the journal papers, then it is quite impossible to publish in good journal. Okay, so you must be very careful when you give the topic to the student. It must be publishable, so it must have element of novelty in the research. So the biggest challenge when we submit a paper is that would be standing out from a bunch of thousands of manuscripts received at the chief editor's office. Okay. The chief editor for good journals, they receive many manuscripts per day, per week. Sometimes your paper is good enough, but maybe that particular day of that particular week, the chief editor received many good papers. So your chances of being rejected is quite high. So you must ask yourself, is your research truly contributing a novel idea to the body of literature? Will the journal readers or the journal editors be interested in your findings? Okay, so I have mentioned that becoming a peer reviewer can help you to publish good papers, because these are some of the reasons. Mainly, we will become more critical once when we become a reviewer. When we write our papers, we also think of what the reviewer would think in the future when they read our papers. And secondly, keeping abreast of the current work. Okay, actually, as a academician, as a lecturer, we must force ourselves to read few papers per week, so that we are at the we are keeping what is the development in that particular area. Especially, we should try to review papers. But sometimes we are very busy, and probably we are lazy. But if we become a reviewer, then we will force ourselves to read the papers. Yeah. Qualities of an effective researcher. Okay, you must be skillful in grant application, and you must be competent as principal investigator in managing the research grant. Okay, so these are the important qualities of effective researcher. And also, writing review papers are important to to publish good journal papers. So this is also another talk on its own, tips for writing review papers. Some of the points that I can share is that we must search for a topic, the need, objective, and novelty of that particular topic compared to previous review papers. Okay, and it is important when we write review papers, we must make critical comments or comparison, and we need to include convincing recommendation and future outlook. Some journals, they are very particular that the authors of review papers are expert in the field. So if you want to write a review paper, but you are not yet an expert, what you can do is you can identify other experts that you can work together. You do the writing up and you ask the help of the experienced researcher in the field to give their comment. So that will help you. Some journals, they are really specialized in reviews. For example, reviews in chemical engineering and polymer reviews. They will only accept review papers. And most of the papers, most of the journal, they can accept both review and original research. And some journals, they only accept original research and no review papers. So you must identify the appropriate journals to be submitted. And lastly, the fourth, the strategies to improve networking and collaboration in research. So there are many benefits of networking. It is opportunity for research collaborations and co-authorship. And also it gives credibility through the name recognition. That means if we work with prominent researchers from other universities, it will help, it will give credibility to our papers and our research as well. And we can gain access to the resources at other institutions, which we do not have. Some equipment are very specialized, and we don't have to buy everything. We can collaborate. Possible career advancement, maybe from the networking, you can move to other places with better career prospect, and you can be invited to be members of board of journal. Also, you become committee members and plenary or guest speakers. So these are the benefits of networking. Ways to start networking. You can start with the interaction during conference meetings with other professors or students. You can use the professional social media, which I recommend very much is the ResearchGate, or you can start by writing emails based on the corresponding authors of the papers, and you can start get the email address from the corresponding author of the papers. Tips of successful collaboration. Okay. You must make sure that you actually need to collaborate. If there is no need, probably you can work on your own. So you must make sure what is the purpose of this collaboration, and you must find the right partners, whether you have the right chemistry, you can work alone, you can work along. Okay. And thirdly, which I have put in red color, is produce tangible results. That means if you have research collaboration, you must prove to your collaborators that you have something to work. You have some extra skill that you can produce results. You can produce tangible results. One of the tangible results that you can show is that we can publish in good journals. This is an example very recently published, 13 July. My work with my PhD student, Wong Jun Fat, on this is a FRGS grant, use of synthetic wollastonite nanofibers in enhancing mechanical, thermal, and flammability properties of polyoxymethylene nanocomposites. So we need many equipment for this, including cone calorimeter to measure the flammability. And we work with Dr. Ridwan Yahya. I hope he is here with us today from Stride. the research center for Ministry of Defense. Work with Dr. Jeffrey from UTM here, Dr. Ching Yen Chi from UM. She is my former master student, and Dr. Zaini from UTHM. So everybody contributes in a way. Okay. There is another work by Chan Yazin. Now it is under revision. Under revision, it's minor correction. That one we also work with MMU, Multimedia University, for the tribological properties. So I hope that one we have submitted in a Q1 journal. Q1 journal. This polymer composites is a Q2, but the paper by Chan is a Q1. Polymer by publisher is Elsevier. Okay. So in order to get into Q1 or Q2, we need sometimes to use equipment which is relatively sophisticated and something that shows that we have reached a certain stage of research. So using Kuhn calorimeter and doing some work on tribology, inshallah will help us to publish in a higher impact factor journals. These are our collaborators throughout the years. Some are from Malaysia, some are outside Malaysia. Okay, I really enjoy this work, doing collaboration, but now I have retired, so it's just now sweet memory for me. And for the young lecturers, one of the measure of performance now is the internationalization. So you must not only work with researchers from Malaysia, you need to make yourself known, to other researchers outside Malaysia. And now, in many universities, to be promoted to professors, you must show that you are internationally known. You must show that you are internationally known. Either you work in an international research grant, or you are invited to be a keynote speaker in an international conference. And then, similar to collaboration is the mentor-mentee for impactful career. Okay, this is working together even within your own department or your school or your faculty. And a good mentor-mentee system is crucial for early career academics, but it is quite difficult. In UTM, we have a formal mentor-mentee system. I hope it works and it produces good results.
I'm sorry, Prof.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. We have another 5 minutes left.
Okay.
For this session.
Okay. Tips to be a good mentee. So it starts with good mutual respect, and it should be responsiveness. Okay. To be successful in life, it is important to have many friends. This is a story about a lady who was being robbed by a man, and it seems that the policeman came, and that policeman is the friend of the robber, and both the policeman and the robber was brought to the court, and during the trial the judge came, and it seems that the judge is also good friend of the robber and that particular policeman. So the moral of the story is important to have friends, and for academicians, friends are important for networking, reviewers, examiners, keynote speakers. And then lastly, the conclusion. So these are the three aspects that the publication and networking can produce impactful career to the academicians, to the students, and to the society. So my last advice is have a personal roadmap, plan your milestone, and go for it. Pray to Allah and be confident of response. And remember that success occurs when opportunity meets preparation. So when you have opportunity but you don't have preparation, then you will waste that opportunity. And try to plan when you are going to get your associate professor and how and when you want to get your professor.
Okay, Prof.
Thank you for the attention. Always stay humble and be kind. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prof. Grateful.
All right, Prof. Thank you, Prof, for the sharing. So
Very long, too long.
okay, Prof. So without further ado, now I welcome to all audience to ask question from our distinguished speaker related to the topic. So since we have limited of time, so only 2 questions will be allowed for this session. Anyone? Okay. So if no question, I have one question for you, Prof. Okay, this is the question is basically more on the social aspect or as an academician. So my question will be how you balance up your responsibility as academicians as well as your with your family time in order to achieve your significant achievements, Prof. Can you share on this?
Okay. Maybe what my experience will not be the same as the young lecturers, because most of you, if you are young lecturers, maybe your age is between 35 to 45. Okay. In terms of family, for the last 10 years, all my 3 children has already left, and they were at the universities and they already get married. I have only 3 sons, and I have a lot, actually quite a lot of time in the last 10 years. Okay. And my wife is also a lecturer, so she understands very well the work of lecturer, and we have the same aim in terms of publication and research, and we help each other. And I am also involved in the NGO, in Printis, in Ikram Academia, in Ikram. So, but the time is more on weekend and at night. So the time, the best thing is to use the time during the office hours. We need to have our target and our aim to what we want to achieve for the day, and also what we want to achieve for the month and so on. My advice also is not to overwhelm ourselves with so many things. We need to focus. Sometimes we have too many students to supervise, then we will be unfair to the students. Okay. However, in my case, it seems that for the last 10 years, I have quite many students. Then I think it takes a lot of my time as well. Okay, some are quite independent, some are less independent. So you must be very selective, okay, in the job that you accept. But we must never underestimate the importance of teaching. So we must teach our undergraduate students very well. And it is not fair that if we neglect them and just focus on our publication. Try to work together, the collaboration and the working together with other lecturers, and try to have fun and not try to be overstressed, and always pray to God, pray to Allah, so that Allah will make it easy for us. Wallahu alam. I'm not sure whether it is.
Right, Prof.
answering.
Thank you for the question. Thank you for the answer. And we
Yes, I
have
have a question.
okay, sure, please.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Prof, for the insightful seminar. My question is, as a young academicians, we have challenges in getting
Can you
students.
switch on your videos that we can know?
Okay, please.
Are you from Malaysia or
No, I'm from Nigeria.
you're Nigeria? 4 o'clock in the
Yes,
morning?
but doing this and a PhD at UPM.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yes, please. My question is, as a young academicians, we have challenges in having student supervision, especially in my environment that I came from. Most of the students are being shared among the senior lecturers. And with the junior lecturers, you discover that personally, you don't have students supervised. So how do you grow with that, in that kind of environment? How do you grow in your research, in your supervision skills? Because you need to practice for you to be perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Are you talking about having the undergraduate student for your final year project or for the master's?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm talking about for the final year project, because it starts from there.
So you are saying that the best students, the top students from the undergraduate classes are being taken by the senior lecturers, and you are left with the less quality students. Is that the problem?
No, most times the problem is you don't even have students, whether the best or not the best. Because the top might have shared. By the time it comes to you, yes, you are left with nothing.
Okay.
So that how do you grow in that kind of environment?
Yeah, it is a unique problem. It's a unique problem because in Malaysia, we try to be as fair as possible. In the undergraduate classes, they will divide the students equally, and everybody will get equal chance of getting the students for the final year project. One way is if you can work together with the senior lecturer, and you volunteer to be a co-supervisor, and you try to be proactive and suggest interesting topics that will be publishable, and when you get the data, you try to publish and get the respect from the senior lecturers. Will it work that way?
Thank you for the answer.
Thank you, Prof.
Wong, do you think it works there in Nigeria with that answer?
Well, I think it can work if it has been applied.
Yeah, and also you can only not work with the lecturers in your university. You can try to get to know from other universities as well. Say that you have a good topic, but you don't have students. Can you give this to your student? And after that, after you get the data, you must make sure you publish. You remember the point that I told you in the meeting just now about that tangible results. Okay, you try to practice that. I think that's quite relevant to your case.
Okay, Prof. Thank you, Prof. I'm grateful.
All right. So thank you, Prof, for the question. So right now, we have come to an end for our program today. Before we end our event, so I would like to invite our speaker, lecturers, and students, and all the listeners to open your camera to have a photography session. So, okay. All right. Okay, everyone, please open your camera. Right. Okay, wait. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, wait. 1, 2, 3. Another one. 1, 2, 3. Another one. 1, 2, 3. All right. So that's all. Thank you for being here. And as the saying goes, to every beginning there is an ending. And now the event has come to its end. Once again, thank you for everyone for gracing our event with your presence. We are truly appreciated. And on behalf of organizing committees, I would like to apologize if we have done any mistakes throughout the event. I end my duty as moderator for today's event. With wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.